another gem. So today we will be talking about how I got into PT school. Okay, y'all, like honestly, let's just start with the simple fact that it was all God. Like it was literally all God. Like I'm not even gonna flex. One thing about me, and you guys will learn very quickly, I'm surprised I didn't even mention in the first video, but I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. Like ain't no getting around it. I'm gonna be talking about God. So if it makes you uncomfortable, this may not be the channel for you. And you know, if you want to learn a little bit more about Jesus Christ, man, ask me about him. Ask me. I will tell you. I'm not even ashamed. Ask me and I will tell you. Okay? But no, seriously though, like literally how I got into physical therapy school was all God. Like I said, like I mentioned in the first video, I was in my Master's of Public Health program, and initially that is a 2-year program. So my first year being in that fall, PTCAS opened in, which is the centralized like application site. It opened in July, and so I was applying in July of the first year I was in my master's program, and I think I applied to like maybe 4 schools and didn't get into any. Could have been 4 or 5 schools, didn't get into any. I was really bummed. I was really bummed because at that point that was the second time. The first time I applied was during my gap year, and during my gap year I applied to possibly like 10 schools, didn't get into not one. Okay, y'all, that was very disappointing. Then come the start of my second year of my master's program, I applied again, but this time I applied to like 3 schools, and those 3 schools were Howard Hampton and St. Augustine in Florida. So I got an interview for St. Augustine, and I was really excited because that was my first interview in the like 2.5 years I had been applying for physical therapy school. Like that was my first interview, and I was really excited, you know, drove down to Florida, whatever. All in all, find out I didn't get in even after the interview. And I was really bummed about that because I was like, you know, at that point, like I didn't have the highest GPA. I didn't have like the best grades in undergrad. And literally like looking back on it, undergrad was just a complete joke. Like I was not serious. I was not studying. And then I was also a biology major. Like I loved biology, but like I honestly wish I could have done something else. And then pursued the pre-physical therapy track because I thought I wanted to do medicine and just kind of like here and there. And I didn't really figure it out until like senior year that, you know, I really don't want to do medicine. But at that point, you know, my GPA had already like taken a tank from taking all these classes that I absolutely hated and like was horrible at, like cell bio, all those classes. I was like, what the heck, ecology? Why am I in this? Like I hated those classes so much. And I think that I don't have regrets in life, but I really do wish I could go back and like be like a dance major or something fun, and then still pursue physical therapy. But anyway, so yeah, so I didn't have like, I think graduating UGA, I probably had like I could have had like a 3.0 even, and then I took like post-bac classes because there were still some prereqs that I needed to take, so that kind of like helped me out a little bit. So I think like all in all I had maybe like a 3.2, maybe a 3.1 something in terms of like GPA. And then you know that you have your science GPA too, and I think for my science GPA I probably had like a like 2. I don't even know, y'all. I don't know. I really just try and erase that part of my life. But I really think that I was probably barely scratching the surface of like a 3.0 even with my science GPA, but it was literally all God, like all God. But I thank God for Howard University for giving me a chance to like pursue physical therapy, because I knew that like I was not defined by my grades, you know. And I think that was like my biggest issue applying, was that like I was getting so discouraged because a lot of these programs, like their entry or their requirements is based off of like numbers and scores and all these things, and like I don't feel like those things define you. Yes, they should be a factor, but there should also be opportunities for students to kind of justify, like, you know, I know there are a lot of students that apply and they have to find a way to like narrow it down and like weed some people out. So I guess like logistically it makes sense, but there needs to be like some other way for people to show or like demonstrate that they are a good candidate, because there are some students who have like phenomenal grades but have horrible people skills. It's like, you're not gonna make a good physician, like physical therapist, whatever, like if you don't know how to interact with people. Like that's just a huge bulk of what we do. So I don't feel like those people would be super good at it. But anyway, so I just knew for me, I needed an interview. Like that was my biggest thing. I was like, you know, I may not have the grades to demonstrate how great of a student I will be, but like if they see me, if they understand my passion, if they can get where I'm coming from, hear my story, I know they're gonna love me. Like I know they're gonna love me. And so that's part of the reason why I was so excited when I got the interview for St. Augustine, and then also the reason why I was so bummed when I did not get in, because I was like, you know, this was supposed to be my opportunity, but you know, maybe that's just not what God had planned for me. So I graduated, like I was saying, I graduated my master's program that fall of 2017. So December I was done, and I was working like that whole rest of the time, or that whole like 1 year after I had applied and stuff, and I was kind of just waiting to see, you know, I was ready. I had, you know, my options open. I was ready to like pursue something more public healthy, and then if I didn't get into physical therapy school. So I was working as an office coordinator at a physical therapy clinic, and yeah, so like I think around March, close to Easter, I know I found out the weekend of Easter that I got in, and I was so excited, y'all. Like I was literally so excited. I remember exactly what I was doing. I remember what I was wearing. Like it was such a phenomenal, like it was I feel like it was probably the second best day of my life. Like besides getting saved, I think that was like, it was just an awesome time in my life, because I felt like my prayers were finally answered. Like all the sleepless nights, all the crying, all the endless videos I was watching, things I was looking up, tests I was taking, classes I was taking, money spent on application fees, I finally felt like all of that had paid off, you know, like in that moment. I was super excited. Yeah, and that's how I got into PT school. So I'm really grateful for Howard University for taking a chance on me, you know, and it's definitely not something that I take lightly. Like, yes, PT school is hard, and you know, there are like some factors that kind of like complicate things a little bit more, but it's still a blessing nonetheless, because I kind of like sit and think like, not everyone has this opportunity. You know, there are a lot of people that apply and don't get in, and it's not something that like I take lightly, especially like in the previous video when I was saying like, make a list of like your passions, things that you truly are like pushing you to pursue, you know, physical therapy in this case, and you know, why is that? What do you plan to do with that, you know? And making that list for me, like those were constant reminders of what I wanted to do with physical therapy. And I just I was very grateful, like very grateful, even to this day. As a second year PT school, sometimes I sit and I think, and I'm like, yo, like I'm really in PT school. Like almost a year and a half ago, this was like something I was praying for, like, you know. So whenever I find myself complaining about this, or you know, whatever, I try and get into that mindset of like gratefulness, because I know that everyone does not have this opportunity. So that's just a little bit about my story. Yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share. Make sure you click the bell to get notifications when I drop new videos every Friday. Thank y'all so much. My little six-pack tribe, my little six-pack can of soda, my little six-pack. Still trying to find a tribe name, but y'all, I need y'all's help. Like I need y'all to cooperate with me. Please help me out. I'm trying to get a little tribe name for us. But yeah, make sure you comment. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and we'll give that a whirl. But thanks for listening. Have a blessed day, y'all. Bye.